Where are my people pleasers? Where are my people pleasers? Raise your hands. I know you're out there. Maybe it's you listening to me right now. We're talking about the guilt detox. We're not going to feel guilty anymore. The guilt detox, releasing the need to please everyone. Because guess what? You can't do that. It's an impossible feat, or you'll make yourself crazy. Cuckoo-ca-choo. Mrs. Robinson, you will make yourself nuts if you're trying to please everyone. 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Colleen Odegaard. One day, I was an Emmy Award-winning television journalist, married to the love of my life, and had 2 beautiful children living under my roof. Then one day, I woke up to a life I didn't recognize. Divorced, in a career transition, with my 2 boys grown and out of the house. I had to get really comfortable being alone really fast, or I was going to lose my shit. This podcast is about reinventing yourself in a new season of life, getting to know yourself again, and having more peace, more love, more levity. This is Wake Up to Your Life. This is a big problem for so many of us. I used to think it was more of a problem for us gals, for women, but I know a lot of men who are people pleasers too. They don't like to say no. They're worried people will be mad at them. They won't like them. I have so many moments in my life where I didn't just pause and think about what I was saying yes to. And I just reflexively said yes, yes, yes. And then would be so pissed off and resentful at what I had committed to. So things that come to mind, I used to get, this is in my former, well, I'm back on television again now, but I used to get asked to MC events a lot. And I never took money for it because I was working at the TV station and it wasn't appropriate to get paid for my time. It was just something that was kind of a job expectation that I'd be a member of the community and being out and doing these kinds of things. And anytime anyone asked me to MC something, no matter where it was located, no matter how far away from my home it was, I'd say yes. Yes, yes, I would love to do that. Yes, it's a 6-hour event. Oh boy, and you need me there at what time? Oh, gee, okay, sounds great. Oh, it's black tie. Oh, so now I need to go buy a dress. I used to do these all the time, and telling you, I would get so angry, like my body was on fire. I was so pissed off because I'd be cussing under my breath at having to go to an event because it was like an hour away from my house and I'd have to go buy a dress for the event. I'd get my hair and my makeup done and it would cost me my entire Saturday. But I'd say yes anyway, instead of just stopping and thinking, why did I do that? Why did I say yes? Yes has gotten me into going out on terrible dates. It's gotten me to just do a lot of things that I didn't feel like doing back in the days when my kids were in school and, I'm making hundreds of cookies for the bake sale kind of thing. Like, I didn't want to do that. I'll buy them at the store for you, but I don't want to make them. So many things that I've said yes to. And I'm sure you feel me on that, right? When you say yes and you didn't even give yourself a moment to think about it. We're going to stop that and we're not going to feel guilty about this. And here's how we're going to do it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at where does this guilt come from? Why are you feeling so guilty about saying no? I think for a lot of us, particularly for women, this can be sort of the good girl conditioning, our conditioning as women. We have to be polite. We're taught to be nice and polite and say yes and make sure everybody's taken care of while sacrificing ourselves. I think a lot of that is just cultural. It's in the world. We learn that from the time we're little girls. Maybe you like being the one who's the hero, the fixer. You like being the person, I'll save the day, I'll take care of it, I'll do it at the expense of yourself. But just take a look at where that guilt is coming from. Because do you really even feel guilty? It's not guilty to say no to something that you don't have the capacity to do. There's no reason to feel guilty about that. And, this shows up all over the place. It can show up in your relationship. It can show up at work. It can show up in, your friendships, that kind of thing. So recognize where the guilt comes from. Why am I feeling this? Secondly, now, here's where we do the detox. This is how we detox and we can stop feeling so guilty when we say no. Notice the people who you are more likely to want to please, meaning you probably know your partner, your spouse, like you can blow him off because he's still going to love you. You think like, oh, he's still going to love me. I can just tell him no. Or your parents, they love you unconditionally, hopefully. And so you feel like maybe you can let them down a little bit. It's easier to say no to those people. Maybe the harder people to say no to are the next rung out people. Maybe you're probably your boss. Your boss might be a hard person to say no to because you want to do well at work, you want a promotion, you want more responsibility, you want a raise, so that you think you have to say yes, 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 yes to everything that's put in front of you, when in reality you don't. You really don't. So notice the people who are triggers for you. Maybe it's a friend. Maybe it's a really good friend and she's going through a rough time and she needs you to watch her kids again. She needs you to dog sit for her again. She needs you to loan her money. She needs, where you start to feel like you're tapping out, right? You're doing a lot. You're going above and beyond. It's getting to be too much when you're taking care of your own kids and your own family. So notice the people who are hard for you to turn down, okay? And think about why is it? So going back to what I told you, I would say yes to every event I was invited to. I'll MC it. Yes, I'll do it. I had to look at why was I saying yes? Because I didn't want people to be mad at me. I thought if I said no, that they'd be angry at me and they would think I was a bitch and that I didn't care about their event and that I didn't care about their charity. That's really what I believed. So how could I say no? I can't say no. And then if I say no, you know what? They're going to ask some other local TV person, and then she's going to get all the attention. And oh my God, and then what's going to happen to me? I'll become irrelevant. That's some messed up thinking, y'all. That is messed up thinking. Thank God I'm free from that now. I know how to say no, and I don't worry about who else is going to say yes. It's fine because I don't want to do it. So look at, what you're afraid of, what's keeping you from saying no. And then I want you to practice disappointing people. Ugh, does that sound scary? Yes, if you're a people pleaser, that sounds terrifying. Practice disappointing people and see what happens. So somebody asks you, can you host the baby shower? Can you host the pool party? Can you, just something, can you do this thing for me? And if you really stop and think about, is this something that you want to do? And if it's not, you're going to say, thanks for asking. No, I just don't have the capacity right now, but thanks for thinking of me and ask me again in the future. Did that sound mean? Did that sound like a no from a mean person? Let's say your friend who's asked you for this request pushes back. Oh, come on, you can't. Please, 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 please. Can't you just do this with me? Can't you come with me? Can't you come with me to this party? Can't you do this thing? Can't, please, please, please. No, I can't. I hear that you really want me to do this for you, or you really want me to come, and I can't. I just don't have the capacity. I hope you'll understand. How does that feel? Right? Let the other person be disappointed. And they might even say, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that you said no. You're going to feel some sort of way in your body. This is when you pull out your inner Zen. Hopefully you've been doing some meditating, which I'll never force you to do. I won't evangelize about it, but it really helps. Just sit with it. You're disappointed. Wow, I can see that. Yeah, I'm disappointed too. And then zip your lips. Don't say anything. Let it just be. And guess what? You're not going to die. Nothing terrible is going to happen. This person more than likely will probably still like you. More than likely. People are more ready for your no than you think they are. And here's the thing. If you're a chronic people pleaser, it's hard to know when your yes really means something. I have some friends who are really bad at this, and they spread themselves thin, so thin. And then they'll tell, oh yeah, I got to do this thing. I really don't feel like it. I'm regretting that I said I'd host this dinner. I don't want to do it. But I said I would, and I'm not feeling it. And what I hear in that, what I think is, that's actually not kind to that other person you said yes to. If I knew I was going to a dinner and I'm excited about it, but the host didn't really want to do it, she just said yes because she felt bad, and that she's secretly complaining to her husband or someone else about it, no thanks. I don't want to come to that. That's no fun. I don't want to feel like an imposition. Who wants to go to that dinner? So when you learn how to say no, your yes means a whole lot more. If you're the kind of person who can say no, then when you say yes, I know, oh yeah, damn, you want to be there because you said yes, because I know you know how to say no. The people pleasing isn't really about other people. It's about you being a little selfish. This is true. Oh, I don't want to make people feel bad. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. And you want everybody to like you. Clarity is kindness. Be honest with people. Tell them the truth. You'll be so glad you did. So practice saying no and surviving it. And then you can even have like a little script. If you're not good at this, have a little script that you say like, oh, thank you for thinking of me. I need 24 hours to get back to you. Buys you some time so you can think about whether you want to say yes or no. Or you can say, oh, no, I can't do that. I just don't have the capacity right now. Maybe that's the line you use, but have some phrases, some catchphrases that work for you that you can go back to. And you know the thing where we hear people say like, no is a complete sentence. I don't love that. I used to believe that, but I don't believe that, and I'll tell you why. Because we care about our social connections. So if someone you care about makes a request of you, what are the chances you're really just going to say, no? Like, you're going to want to explain a little bit. Don't over-explain or over-apologize. That's weird. That's too much the other way. But if somebody you care about asks you something, makes a request of you, needs something of you, you probably want to say, no, I can't come to your birthday weekend event. I can't do it. I want to so desperately, but I've got family coming in from out of town and my kid has a soccer tournament and it's just not going to work. I'm so sorry. I would love to and I can't. Like, to me, that's an empathic no. That's a thoughtful no. It's okay to give a little explanation. So when people say no is a complete sentence, depends on who's asking. Just if it's a person you really care about, you can give a light explanation of what is going on for you. But don't cave. Don't cave. People pleasing is more about you than it is about other people. Don't hide behind that crock of shit. Like, I just care so much about everybody. No, you care about your own damn self and your own uncomfortable feelings of what it will be to let somebody else down. That's what you care about. That's what you're protecting. What you gain when you learn how to say no, oh, you have so much more energy, more time for yourself. You respect yourself. You respect yourself. Isn't that great? We all want to feel good about ourselves. You respect yourself when you learn how to set a boundary and say no. You will have improved relationships because you're not secret resentful of everybody who's asking you for stuff, right? It will improve your relationships because you know how to say no. And you will have some freedom from this emotional exhaustion when you're doing, and people-pleasing all over the place. Doesn't that sound nice? And then you have time for yourself to do something it is that you want to do. So I hope this helps you release the guilt. You can say no in a loving, kind way. When people tell you no, do you get pissed off and hate them? Probably not. At least I hope you don't. We're more ready. People are more ready for your no than you think they are. So the world is not going to shatter, and you don't have to say yes to every request that is made of you. So this week, I want you to practice saying no to something that you don't want to do. Maybe it's an invitation to a party. Maybe it's a request from your boss. I want you to practice saying no. Okay? Can you do that? Practice letting somebody down and then notice what happens. And see what happens. See how it feels in your body. Oh gosh, my pits were sweating. I felt very nervous. I could feel my face getting flushed. Oh, I was worried that we were going to have a fight about it. And whew, isn't that something? And everything was fine. Or whatever. And then let me know what happens. Practice saying no. And then maybe you can write in your journal if you're a journal keeper. I love the idea of a journal. I want to be a journaler, and I am sometimes, but then I abandon it. But maybe, if you can write in your journal prompt, if I didn't feel guilty, I would fill in the blank. If I didn't feel guilty, I wouldn't be traveling to that destination wedding, and I'd be saving that money for my bucket list trip that I want to take next year, right? Practice with that, play around with that, and see what comes up for you. So release the guilt, stop the people pleasing, stop it. You don't have to feel bad. All right, you can learn how to say no. You're going to be okay. Everyone's going to be okay. Okay, damn it. Everyone's going to be all right. Everyone's going to be all right. Thank you so much for listening. I love when you reach out to me. You can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm still working on updating a website, and I will have a different email that you can reach out to me on, and that will streamline things. But for now, just send me a DM on Instagram and know that I love you and I am rooting for you. Thank you so much for listening to the Wake Up to Your Life podcast. I love connecting with you, so reach out to me on Instagram at Colleen_Odegaard. My podcast is also on YouTube now, so you can leave a comment on the podcast episode and tell me what resonated with you. You can subscribe to my channel at the link in our show notes. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode.